Shalom, beautiful people all around the four corners of the earth. Hope that you are having a blessed Saturday. It is February 24th, 2024. It's a palindrome day. I think that's what they call it. Woo! Man, it has been a week. Hope that y'all are doing all right and living, making it through this week. We got a great live here tonight as we are going to be talking about this transition to the blockchain economy, the digital economy. It is here, y'all. And if you didn't realize already that blockchain is going to be the future of money and of finance. So what we're going to do and talk about today is what this transition is going to look like as we are moving into digital currencies being integrated into every facet of our economy. And before I get the ball really rolling, I just have to thank the Most High for life, for keeping my loved ones protected, for just giving me purpose, and for the ultimate gift of salvation, which is only found in Yahshua HaMashiach, also referred to as Jesus Christ. My Lord and my Savior, He is the perfecter and author of my faith. He deserves all the glory. He deserves all the honor. And if you have not made Him Lord and Savior over your life, right now is the exact time to do it. As we are starting to see the Most High's judgment come over this wicked land, we need to repent of our sinful ways and turn and seek the Most High. Seriously. Right now is not the time to play. It doesn't matter how many cryptocurrencies you have. It doesn't matter how much gold and silver you have. It doesn't matter how much real estate you have. The Most High must be your strength, for He is the only one that can save you, is Jesus. And I'm standing on that. I am standing on that. So let's get into talking about this digital economy. This week, we see the digital space get a little bit hectic as we see outages all across the nation hitting these AT&T customers, as well as other mobile users in Verizon and T-Mobile. This is just a little taste of things to come. We have to realize that the World Economic Forum over the past 2 years, they've been holding meetings about a coming cyber attack. And this is literally the same thing that they did with COVID. They put out little feelers as to, there could be a global pandemic. There could be cyber attacks. And they've already done scenarios where these things happen. Now it's just a matter of time as to when they happen. And that's what we're starting to see this week. Let's take a look at this quick little video. Thought this was interesting. I don't know if this is factual, but this really does go in line with the digital economy as we're thinking about digital currencies and how each and every country are actively researching cryptocurrencies and how to implement central bank digital currencies into their economy. So let's take a look at this video.
Klaus Schwab promises you a cyber attack, and I am telling you it's a cyber attack on banks. An attack that will take out the old system and finalize the plans of the fourth industrial revolution. The establishment of digital currencies, CBDC. A huge crash is part of the process and is needed to destroy the old system to replace it with a new system. So what's the new system? WF, Klaus Schwab, warning of the next pandemic. A cyber attack so vast it disconnects the internet. All of this boosts his digital ID and CBDC agenda. The vaccine will be your CBDC, otherwise your bank account will be hacked. Consider saving it for later. They will set an example to make it happen. They might hack a World Bank, or they will create threats that will become that serious in order to establish new laws regarding banks and digital currencies. The reality is, the US economy is being eaten alive by inflation and its debt. There is no way they can survive it. They need to crash everything and send all to zero to sound innocent once it happens. Let me tell you the easiest way to do so. Worldwide cyber attacks, targeting banks collapsing, people losing all, market crashes, and system restarts. Government will be happy and tell you that they have no fault for the collapse of the world economy. They will tell you that CBDCs are good for you because they can't be hacked. They will suggest you use CBDC instead. Otherwise, you risk being hacked again. The same strategy of causing fear during COVID will be used again.
Very interesting clip. Now, I know it's a TikTok. Not saying that that's how it's going to happen, but from my research into the information that these global movers and shakers are putting out, is that there's one way that central bank digital currencies can become introduced. They will be introduced, whether you want to believe it or not. This is why it is so vital that we lean on not our own understanding, that we put the Most High first. Literally, we are seeing the book of Revelations coming to life. And we are slowly starting to see the tentacles of the beast system taking form and moving closer and closer to the mark of the beast. I don't know if that's one of those censored terms, but I don't give a frickin'. So we see that there are outages and central bank digital currencies are on the way. They seriously are. Last week, we took a look at Japan and how their economy is now officially in a recession and how it lost its spot as the world reserve currency. Well, now we're starting to see Japan moving closer to allowing venture capital firms to hold crypto assets. CoinDesk reports. If approved in Parliament, the draft bill could see venture capital funds Web3 startups in exchange for crypto assets. Let's see what else it has to say. Japan's cabinet approved a bill that adds crypto to the list of assets the nation's investment funds and venture capital firms can acquire, the Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry said Friday. Japan has been a global leader in framing a regulatory framework for stablecoins and has indicated plans to promote Web3 while remaining tough on user protection. In 2023, Nikkei reported that the country planned to relax rules for VC firms to invest in crypto startups. Now the cabinet has approved the move. The amended bill will be introduced and debated in the current session of Parliament. The number 4 economy in the world is talking about letting privately held financial institutions hold cryptocurrency. Venture capital firms having the ability to hold crypto assets. We're seeing it. We are seeing it in real time as the economy weakens. There has to be an alternative source. In about 2 or 3 lives ago, we talked about, or we listened to Vivek Ramaswamy talk about how there's an importance to back currency with gold. And I agree. But there is no way that fiat currency will be backed by gold again. They're not going to just keep printing out new bills when we have blockchain technology. Everybody and their mom has a smartphone, and they'll utilize it to introduce these central bank digital currencies, talking about giving access to the unbanked. It's real. So how do you prepare for this? Look at this. I've shown this before. We see new money, asset-based wealth creation. You gotta have assets, and assets that are going to retain their store of value, that are limited in their supply. Precious metals, real estate, certain cryptocurrencies. Not all cryptocurrencies have a store of value. Some of them are just meme coins, and we have to realize that. We ain't got no old money, but we got a whole lot of new money, though. You know which ones are going to retain their store of value. It's those that are all obviously ISO 20022 compliant. But there are a couple other outliers that must be considered. So we see Japan talking about the move towards a digital currency. Well, who else is out there? What's the United States looking like when it comes to these central bank digital currencies? We see back in 2022, the White House put out this first ever comprehensive framework for responsible development of digital assets, yada, yada, yada. And how this is encouraging pilots to be done for central bank digital currency implementation, as well as encouraging different departments in the Congress and in the legislative branches to start to look at how central bank digital currencies can be implemented. And they actually give some power in this document to the Federal Reserve as well, which is very interesting. We've seen a mixed reaction from both sides on these central bank digital currencies. Let me tell you, they're coming. They are coming here in the United States. They are going to be implemented, and dollar bills are going to get phased out. Literally. That's all there is to say. We see the Federal Reserve talking about CBDCs. And they said they haven't made no decision on whether to pursue or implement a CBDC, but they have been exploring the potential benefits and risks of a CBDC. Listen, it's coming. When you think about how you move money now, most people take Cash App, Zelle, predominantly. When you have to pay somebody something, it's going through it's a digital transaction. People don't use cash as much anymore. And yes, the United States domestic payment system is pretty robust, but it is also old. It's vast, but it's old. It takes, sometimes weeks for payments to be made. And that's with the ACH transactions. So we got to realize that these financial institutions, they want to save money too. When you think about the transaction costs for these central bank digital currencies, I'm sorry, not for the central bank digital currencies, for digital currencies, for certain cryptos and digital currencies, you see transaction costs at 0.0001 of the actual crypto. That is saving a lot of money, and it's happening at a much faster pace. So why not utilize blockchain technology? Let's see what an individual who's a decision maker in the United States political arena as to what they have to say. Janet Yellen
was focused on digital assets and related risks, such as from runs on crypto asset platforms and stablecoins, potential vulnerabilities from crypto asset price volatility, and the proliferation of platforms acting outside of or out of compliance with applicable laws and regulations. Applicable rules and regulations should be enforced, and Congress should pass legislation to provide for the regulation of stablecoins and of the spot market for crypto assets that are not securities. We look forward to continuing to engage with Congress on this. With this overview, I look forward to taking your questions on these. Council is focused on digital assets.
Very interesting. Focused on digital assets, cryptocurrencies. Y'all hear that she mentioned cryptocurrencies that are not securities? Which digital currency is the only only crypto with that classification. If you know it, throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat, dadgummit. It's XRP. It is XRP. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the Moneypot YouTube channel, as we are wanting to grow here. Get, continuous content being put out. So we see the United States talking about this digital economy that's coming. Nothing has been official, but listen, they are working in the background. Look up the Digital Dollar Project. Look up the JP Morgan Chase coin. Look up literally central bank digital currency on X, on Google. You will find information about these updates on the central bank digital currency and how close we are to getting them. I don't think that one will be introduced this year, but you never know. You never know how fast things can happen. Seriously, that's why you gotta stand on your P's and Q's. So we see Japan moving towards the digital blockchain economy. We see the United States doing it. There's another institution. There's another country. I guess you can call it institution. The European Union, the central bank. Their central bank is also actively researching how to implement the digital euro. So let's see what Christine Lagarde has to say about this digital euro.
As I know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how can switching to an electronic currency help?
Now we have in Europe this threshold above 1,000 euros, you cannot pay cash. If you do, you are on the gray market. You take your risk. You get caught, you are fined, or you go in jail. But the digital euro is going to have a limited amount of control. There will be control. You're right. You're completely right. We are considering whether for very small amounts, anything that is around 300, 400 euros, we could have a mechanism where there is zero control. But that could be dangerous. The terrorist attacks on France back 10 years ago were entirely financed by those very small anonymous credit cards that you can recharge in total anonymity.
Very interesting. Couple key things, as you said. They are limiting already the amount of cash that can be withdrawn from ATMs and basically controlling people's access to their own wealth. That's scary. That's what's going on in the European Union. Y'all, it's time to wake up and realize that it's about to hit the fan. Stuff is about to hit the fan. And it's best to be more prepared than less prepared. As we are seeing these world leaders talking about central bank digital currencies and the coming digital economy, we have to wake up. We have to realize that this is the reality of the times that we're living in. Seriously, I don't think people realize how detrimental these central bank digital currencies are going to be to our lives. You will literally have no freedom. Take a screenshot of this if you'd like. I found this on X. It's crazy how I just call it X, but I grew up with it when it was on Twitter. But my biggest thing is that the access to your money can be cut off by banks and governments. Literally. I mentioned that in that first video we listened to. But your account can be wiped away very, very quickly. They have the ability to do that now, but they need some reason. But in the future, they may not need a reason. Just may be like, we are going to take away all your money. So guys, you got to be mindful of these things. Cash is freedom. Precious metals are freedom. Other sorts of assets are freedom, are associated with freedom and not being under Big Brother's control. So, the digital economy is coming. The digital economy is coming. What will a U.S. central bank digital currency look like? Let's see what Investopedia has to say. The U.S. CBDC will be the digital or electronic form of the United States dollar issued by the Federal Reserve. This form of digital fiat money will be similar to cryptocurrencies, but the fundamental difference will be that a CBDC will be backed and regulated by the Federal Reserve and act as a legal tender. Let's stop right there. We see it's going to be very similar to a cryptocurrency, but the difference is that a CBDC is going to be backed and regulated by the Federal Reserve. You know what's just going to be so interesting here? And so many people have yet to catch on to cryptocurrency and actually having cryptocurrencies in their asset portfolio. Think about all those dollar bills that you have access to in your bank, automatically just going to these central bank digital currencies. How pissed would you be? Would you be pissed at all? I know I'd be. It's literally backed and regulated by the Federal Reserve. With the future US CBDC, the public could use another form of central bank money besides physical cash and digital balances held in an individual or corporate bank accounts. The US doesn't currently have a CBDC, but this option is under discussion. So this is really just another option. Push us more into the digital space and overall the beast system. Blockchain technology will be utilized here in the near future very soon, especially as you start to acclimate yourself now or get off the grid. Literally. So that is what a U.S. central bank digital currency could look like. I do think that, they'll allow for other cryptocurrencies to be around, likely stable coins, maybe bank issued coins like the JP Morgan Chase coin, XRP, XLM, XDC, Algorand, those types of digital assets that are accepted on a global scale. Maybe Dogecoin, but the majority of the cryptocurrency market's likely going to get wiped out. So that is that. Make sure you go check out some of the content that we have on the Moneypot channel as we talk deeply into these cryptocurrencies and their fundamentals. I'm not really one to talk about price, give price predictions, but I can tell you about a digital asset's use cases, how it's going to be beneficial, and what the outlook of it can be without price, but more so its acceptance on a global scale. So go check out some of that content on the Moneypot channel, as we've done a whole lot on central bank digital currencies, on this digital ID, on digital assets. But just wanted to have this quick little live here just to share about some of the recent updates on central bank digital currencies. I really don't have anything else to share with you all. And I really do appreciate your time. Make sure you drop some comments, share this information with your loved ones, and make sure that you tune in next Saturday for our next live on the Moneypot YouTube channel. But regardless of what you do, make sure that you stay blessed, stay healthy, stay prayed up.